This one's a little deeper. Honest thoughts about life after college sports, the thing that they don't prepare you for. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Preston Ruth. I ran track at the University of Tennessee, and I now post content for high school and college runners, as well as those looking to begin their health, fitness, and running journey. Now, today's episode and video is all about honest thoughts about life after college sports, the thing that they don't prepare you for. If you've watched my videos for some time now, you've seen me talk about my career at the University of Tennessee, a lot about the running side, the X's and O's and what goes into becoming a better runner. But I want to peel back the layers a little bit in this video and get down to some real and vulnerable thoughts about what it's like when your sport's no longer there. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing is figuring out how to redefine what fit and in shape looks like. There was a lot of me that was still trying to live out a college dream, get to a college level of fitness that the reality is I'm not going to be in again. And so having to understand that as time moves on, as I get a little older, as life picks up with my 9-to-5, with all the things going on, that understanding what a healthy lifestyle, what a fit lifestyle looks like. And I think a big solve to trying to redefine what fit and in shape looks like is learning to have fun with working out. And I think for a lot of us athletes, whether you ran or played a different sport, fun wasn't always a word that you associated with your sport. It's just grind, grind, grind. And so you step out of a space where you're having to be at this level all the time. So now how do I have fun with that? For a lot of the athletes that weren't runners, running was your punishment. So to have fun running now is a completely different mindset. And to shift to that is really challenging. Trying to replicate my training without a training group is almost impossible. There's no longer this controlled environment that came with college sports that really helped with training. I mean, that was the reality, is as a college athlete, your main job is just show up and run or show up and work. They controlled everything else, from nutrition to your training plan, to recovery, to the mental health space, to everything. There was a resource there to enable you to, all you had to do was worry about showing up and showing out. They took care of all those other variables. So now that I'm out of college, I'm having to wear a lot of different hats. I'm having to figure out, okay, well, what rehab do I do now if this pain pops up? Or how do I meal prep? How do I figure out what nutritional plan is going to work for me? How do I build a weightlifting and running plan for myself for the first time ever? How do I be my own self-motivator and mental health coach at the same time? Because all these things cost money. So there's a reality where I'm having to learn a lot of these things for the first time that I took for granted when I was a college athlete, because it was just there. It was given to me. Part of this YouTube channel is taking the resources that I got from all these coaches, all these faculty and staff in the athletic department, and bring it to you guys, and for free, right? It's here on YouTube and here on Spotify and Apple Music. But that has been one of the hardest parts, is no longer having that controlled environment where all you had to do was show up and run. I think another honest truth is it's really hard for me to find the balance between structure and discipline and freedom and enjoyment. Like, I want to go run 10 miles and be in really good shape, but at the same time, I want to go enjoy a night out and eat bad junk food. And so I think when you're an athlete, there's this mindset where, anything that's unproductive or that isn't pushing you towards your goals is bad. So whether that is lack of sleep, bad food, drinking, all the things, you become really hard on yourself to where you're constantly nitpicking and scrutinizing yourself for choosing to turn to those things. And even if it's in moderation, a lot of the times us athletes struggle to enjoy that or not think about the consequence or the result of, oh, if I miss this workout, if I don't get my sleep, if I don't, right? And now we're out of that space where there's no longer that consequence of us missing that. And so a big thing for me is being okay with, hey, there might be an occasional night where I don't get a lot of great sleep, or maybe I do have a cheat meal. I'm not able to, go and hit my workout because there's some other social things that came up. I obviously want to stick to a training plan. I want to be disciplined. Sometimes we become so efficient, we forget to be human. And I think as athletes, we're turned almost into machines. We're turned into these robots that are so efficient and so driven and following through on all our goals that we sometimes forget to be human and forget to live life. And now that we don't have our sport, it's learning how to live life, and sometimes that means we're not as efficient or productive as we want to be. I learned just as much from the coaches that I didn't like as the ones that I did. A big goal for me one day is to coach. I don't know if that will be for a high school, college, virtually, personal training. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I know that I want to coach. And sometimes pain is what drives our purpose. And so pain from some of the coaches that I had that weren't great has driven me to want to be a great coach so that others don't experience that. And so as much as the coaches that I loved gave me a lot of wisdom and feedback and insight, things that I still carry to this day, there's some coaches where I kept receipts of, hey, I'm never going to let this happen if I'm ever in this position or I get to be a coach. I think another big thing, and I'm just a big believer of this, is knowing how to channel energy in the right way. As athletes, we're given this competitive energy. We're given this drive, this push to be great. And so a lot of the times when athletes get done with their career, it's just kind of this energy that's just sitting. And for some people, they just let it waste away. But I think a really, really important thing is when you get done with your sport, knowing how to channel that energy towards something productive. For me, it's creating content. That's a way that I can channel my competitive energy into something that I know is helping others, excites me to turn on the camera and to script out a video and film it and edit it and post it and see how people react to it and see it help impact other people. So I'd really encourage for all you former athletes, find a new hobby and people to go do it with. I mean, it really is fun when you can channel the energy in the right way. This one's a little deeper, but I don't really know what I want to do with my life. And I think it's the first time that I've ever faced this question. I think a lot of us athletes for years, we don't answer a lot of identity questions because sports is almost everything for us. That's our life. That's what eat, sleep, breathe sports. And we don't ever think about, well, what do I want to do? What happens when this ends? And I think this year, post-grad, 9-to-5 job, adulting, bills, the whole 9 yards, is the first time that I've sat down and had to say, what am I doing with my life? Is this what I want to do? Is this what I enjoy? Is this where I feel like God's calling me right now? Is this what I think is making this earth more like heaven? And I'm having to wrestle with that a lot. It's hard. And there's a lot of tough questions that I think some people will turn to vices to ignore when they get done with their sport. But I really challenge those watching. If you're done with your sport, there's going to be some tough questions that you have to ask yourself of what does my life look like now? I don't really share these thoughts often. I'm going to be honest. I think we all know those people when people are like, oh, that guy's living in his glory days, right? He can't get over the past. He can't move on. And he's the guy that peaked with his sport. And I've never wanted to be that guy. So a lot of the times I don't talk about the feelings that I'm going through with my sport ending. Because a lot of the times, if I told someone, hey, I'm still really having a hard time, that track's over for me. It's like, dude, it's been 2 years. But I share this on this channel because I know there's someone else out there watching whose sport is over. Could have been recently, could have been a while ago, could have been years ago, and maybe you're still having a tough time with it. I think the reality too is not a lot of us get to choose when our sport ends for us. I really didn't. I didn't know my last race was going to be my last race. I didn't know my last season was going to be my last season, but it was. And I had to be okay with that. And it didn't end how I wanted it to. And there was a lot left that I felt like I had to give, and it just ended. And I bet there's people out there watching with stories that are tougher than mine. I'm blessed that I can still run. I can still move. I'm healthy, right? I've been blessed. But the reality is it's still hard the way it ended. And so I don't share it with people because I don't want people to think that I can't get over it or that I can't move on. But really, I hope this can just resonate with one person. I hope that anyone watching this can take away some peace and some hope of knowing that you're more than your sport. You matter. You're someone outside of that. There's another person deep down that's waiting to be unlocked. Your sport ending could be a door closing so that another one opens for a better version of you to be shown to the world. Just know that, and know that it's not going to be easy. There's going to be tough days. There's going to be days where you're questioning, what am I doing? Where do I need to be? What are the things that really matter right now? And what am I going to do when my sport's over? I have all this time. Do I work out? All the questions. Don't try to answer them all at once. Just take it step by step, day by day. Take some time though to reflect and write it down. Talk to people. If anything, talk to people. Talk to close friends, talk to family. Those people are there for you, so don't feel like you can't speak up. Those are some honest thoughts about life after college sports. So thankful for those of you guys that have tuned in. This is going to be episode number 3 that's going up to the Spotify, I'm still in the process of getting Apple Music set up as well. So those videos will go to that as well. But posting these on YouTube on Fridays, and then also going to post on Spotify and Apple Music in podcast format. But I'm really excited for this new way of videos. I think it's a way for me to be able to be more effective with the time constraints that I have to get more videos out and to share more content. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.